want to
Sure.
introduce the session.
I'm sharing
The
it now.
slide. Okay.
Yeah. So I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So good day, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to another Excel session brought to you by UrBizEdge. For today's session, we're having a special guest by the name Jocelyn Rivera. She'll be taking us on the topic My Journey as a BI Analyst. So this session was brought to you by UrBizEdge. So UrBizEdge is also a registered Microsoft Excel consulting, financial modeling, business intelligence, data analysis, and enterprise firm in Nigeria. We is an high-value profession as be on top of the business data. Also, most of you might not know, we're also the developer of some Nigerian finance market analysis tools and also Nigerian market data. So as you all know, we're also a training company here in Lagos, Nigeria. So this is our calendar of our upcoming training. So we're having business intelligence and dashboard using Microsoft Power BI, which is coming up on the 23rd to 25th of June, which is a Thursday to Saturday. We're also going to be having big data analysis, Power Query, Power Pivot, and VBA in Excel, which is coming up on the 24th to 25th of June. Also on the 25th to 26th, we'll be having advanced financial modeler and also a mock exam. So for some of you that want to do the AFM exams, we're also having the training on it. So I'll just give a brief description of our special guest, Jocelyn. So she's a business intelligence analyst with strong skill in interpreting and analyzing data. She also has extensive knowledge in data visualization using a couple of BI tools such as Power BI, Tableau, and even Excel. Microsoft Data Analyst Associate and has worked with various cross-functional and multicultural teams across different countries, especially APAC, Europe, and Middle East. She has trained over 300 users on Power BI and other tools. So with no further ado, I'll hand over the session to Jocelyn. So Jocelyn, over to you. I'll stop sharing my screen now.
Hello, thank you, Temelayo. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on, let me just share my screen, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Because from my side, it's around 11 p.m. 11 p.m.
uh,
It's a bit
uh,
late, but I did my makeup and everything just to ensure you don't get shocked, okay? And then you don't get to
Thank
see me
you.
like on the sleep mode. Okay. So no
Oh,
worries. Okay. Let me just share
Thank
my
you.
screen and then we can start. Okay, hold on. Currently, I'm using Canva. I think for those that follow me on LinkedIn, you know how I love Canva. It's because I don't have any license for Power BI. Not Power BI, PowerPoint. So I'm using Canva. Okay, let me just share this. Okay, so for this session, I was asked by Benny to actually go through my journey as a BI analyst. So before that, I do want to introduce myself first. Okay. So to go through who I am, since I am a data analyst, might as well make use of one of the dashboards that I would say got a bit viral on LinkedIn. Okay. So this is a resume dashboard that I created, I think mid January or around February. So let me introduce myself by using this just to give you an idea of the things that I do as well when it comes to work. So I do create, dashboards. So this one was created in Power BI. So let me just open the one that is in Power BI community. So, oh, sorry, not this one. Hold on. Wait, let me just unpin this. Oh, there we go. It's gone. Okay, hold on. So let's just open it up. Okay, so to give you, although Temidaya already give you a brief, introduction about myself, so I do have around 15 years of work experience. Okay, so this one is overall, I would say. So don't calculate my age anymore. Age doesn't matter, okay, in this case, okay? So 15 years of work experience, 9 years, okay? So 9 years as a BI analyst. So this one is inclusive, of course, of being a senior and being a junior. So it's over 9 years in total. 3.5 years as a business analyst, and then I started as not really started. I started as a call center, but I didn't include it in my resume, so it's irrelevant. So 2.5 years as an IT help desk, more on desktop and such. So I did go through 4 different types of industries. So real estate, tourism, consumer goods. So consumer goods is more on L'Oreal, so those makeup, skin products, and such, and 2.5 years when it comes to technology. Okay, so I've worked in 2 different locations. For anyone asking, I'm actually a Filipino, so I'm from the Philippines, although I've been working in Singapore for over 9 years now. Okay, so I'm currently residing in Singapore and might be moving outside Singapore soon. So I will miss the heat here, the sunny weather. So yeah, 9 years of work experience here in Singapore. So when it comes to years of experience, when it comes to tools, for skills, I do have data analysis, data visualization, and I did include Googling here. So for anyone, it's a skill, okay? Googling, knowing how to Google is a skill. If you want to learn how to Google, go follow James. Okay, I'm gonna leave his link as well. He did have this post on how to use Google in the most effective way. Okay, conducting training, agile methodology, project management. And then for the tools, I do have the following: SQL, Power BI Desktop, MicroStrategy, Tableau, Power BI Service. So I would say I'm more familiar with Power BI now rather than the rest of the data visualization. Since I've been working with Power BI for almost, I think now, did indicate 3.5 years, but more or less it's around 4 to 5 years now. Okay. And then I did include a couple of my sample reports. Okay. So that is me. So I do hope you get to know me a little bit better before we proceed. So the next one is, let me just present this again. Okay. So how did I end up being a business intelligence analyst in the first place? Okay. So I was a call center back in 2005. I'm a graduate of Business Information Management. So in the Philippines, we do have Business Information Management, Business Information Technology, Computer Science, Computer Engineering. So Business Information Management is half IT courses or IT subjects and half management courses. So I was a graduate of in tech. So I was a graduate of technology, more or less. But then I started as a call center agent. Okay, the reason behind is I couldn't find work. Okay, so for any fresh graduates out there, I know the deal. Okay, I can feel you. During that time, it was tough looking for work when it comes to IT. So I really struggled finding that job. So because at the time call center is booming, so I decided, and most of my friends, to be honest, was leaning towards, okay, just to get salary and everything, so maybe start with call center. So I started 2005 as a call center agent. I did learn how to communicate and everything, but to be honest, it's not something that I'm aiming for. So I still wanted to be in tech at that time. So 2006, I was able to land a job as an IT help desk support. So IT help desk support is more on hardware. I was helping how to reformat desktop, reformat desktop, laptop, okay, how to fix network cables, okay, servers and such. So that was my role at that time. And to be honest, it's something that was fun at first, but then the thing that made me want to move is that I'm getting tired of carrying those big bulky desktop and network devices, to be honest. So it's not something for me, I would say. So I was having fun in the first few years. I think 2006, 2007, 2008. It was still okay, but then again, I don't see myself really I would say staying to that role. So I decided, okay, so there was this opportunity that came up for me to be a business analyst. So this one is not related to data at all. So this one is more related on systems, okay, softwares. So I was a business analyst from 2009 and 2012. And to be honest, I was really enjoying it. So I did love connecting with people, you know, getting the requirements and then talking to the tech team, to the developers. So it was something that I was having fun, okay, when it comes to work. And then 2012, an opportunity here in Singapore came up. Someone called me and then told me, hey, there is an opportunity to be a BI analyst. They're not looking for anyone that is, you know how to do Tableau, MicroStrategy or such, but they do want someone that is more on a business analyst and then groom them to be a BI analyst. So since it is something for, I think, I hope some of you can relate is that if an opportunity for to be relocated to another country is comes up, likely you will take it into consideration as well. So I did took the role, and since then, 2012, I've been in BI role, more on an analyst, not a data scientist, not a data engineer. Okay, so more on BI analyst. So that's the whole I would say, sorry. That I would say is the unplanned version of it when it comes to being a BI analyst. This is from my whole experience from 2005 until 2012. So this is the reality of what happened for me when how did I end up as a BI analyst. So I wouldn't suggest, okay, for anyone to go through this. If in case you are someone that really knows that, hey, I want to be a BI analyst or a data analyst, the two for me is almost similar, to be quite honest. So, but in here it's more common to be called as a BI analyst. I think per country will have their own version of how to name the role. So, anyways, so I wouldn't suggest for you guys to go through the whole process and be a call center, an IT help to support, business analyst, and BI analyst. Because for me, this is how I end up with being a BI analyst. So the next presentation is something that I would suggest how if I'm gonna recommend someone if that person is just starting and would want to know how to become a BI analyst. Okay, so I did came up with 6 steps. Okay, so if I can travel in back in time, okay, likely based on all the experience that I've had, if I can travel back in time, this is how I will become a business intelligence analyst. But take note, okay, this is me, not others. Okay, don't quote me and tell me, oh, Jocelyn mentioned this one, it should be this. No, I think it is going to be different for each person depending on their experience, to be honest. So this is just based on how I learned throughout the years and how I would say how I would want to repeat it again. Okay, so let's start with step 1. I think the first one that I would want to do is start getting to learn the tools. Okay, when it comes to tools, what I often see is that everyone try to learn everything. Okay, it seems like everyone is panicking that no, I need to learn this, I need to learn this, I need to learn this. And listen, you need to really focus on a couple of things that I believe will kickstart your career when it comes to BI analyst. Okay, so the first one I would say is advanced Excel. Okay, when I said advanced Excel, this should be, I would say, focus on cleaning and organizing your data. Okay, so for most of my work, I would say that Excel is mostly used as either a data source or something as for me to clean some of the data from, okay, or something that to just get preview of or insight when it comes to the data itself. I don't really there was never a need for me to create like a dashboard using Excel. So for me, this one is something like um more on as a data source and something for you to organize your data with. Okay, So when it comes to advanced Excel as well, of course, I would assume some of you would know how to VLOOKUP, concatenate, and such. I would say try to learn more on, text join, pivot tables, trim, substitute, clean. Those are the things. Index match, and such. So if you are using Power BI, try to learn Power Query as well, because Power Query you can use it in Excel as well. So start learning from that as well. And one thing that I would suggest is I did find one, see, even on LinkedIn, you can learn so much on LinkedIn. So there was this post that was shared by Martina Donal. So it is something that she learned from a course. So this one actually includes a couple of things that you would want to learn in Excel. And the most common things that she pointed out is something that I would say I use when I was starting as a BI analyst. So, for example, text functions, number and dates, name ranges, tables, logical and lookup functions, as you can see here, if, and, or, VLOOKUP, index, and match. See? And then, yeah. So I would say maybe check this content as well. I'm going to share it in the comment as well. So this is quite good, I would say, kickstart when it comes to Excel. But I'm assuming some of you already know most of it, okay? So that's the first. And then the second one would be SQL, okay? So the reason behind why everyone is suggesting for you to learn SQL is that if you are going to be working with a large company, likely most of their database, their data is going to be in an SQL server, okay? So to be honest, I haven't worked with any cloud data yet. So I did have a few experience when I was in L'Oreal, but only a couple of months. But most of our data is still connected to SQL. So it is something that is essential for someone that is learning BI to be a BI analyst, okay? But this will soon, expand to cloud-based data as well. So you might want to learn those. But I would say as a base, learn to make use of SQL. So when I use SQL, it's more on validating data, extracting, familiarizing myself, which DB is being used for which data, which table is being used for what data, and then try to learn a couple of queries as well. Learn to write select query, group by, order by, your sum, average, min, max, count, and then joins as well. So one of the things that I would suggest is, learn SQL. So one more, okay, let's just check another thing that I saw on LinkedIn as well. It's quite good. This one is more on SQL cheat sheet. See, I'm not recreating these things because these things is already there for you to consume. So I would suggest, go to LinkedIn as well, connect with as much as data people are as you can, and then they will share some really good content. So for example, for this one, most of the things that was mentioned here is something that I usually use when it comes to work. Okay, so learn how to make use of SQL. Okay, next, visualization tool. Okay, don't ask me if Jocelyn, Tableau, Power BI. I will never answer that. Okay, no, I will not. Okay, so don't ask me, which visualization tool to use, because that this is the tip that I always suggest to anyone asking me, Jocelyn, hey, tell me which tool should I use? Should it be Power BI? Should it be Tableau? For me, you need to do your research. Each country, this is what I noticed. Each country will have like their favorite visualization tool. For example, in Singapore, the most common visualization tool that is being used by most company is either Power BI or Tableau. Okay, so there are some that is making use of ClickView and MicroStrategy. But if you look in Google, not Google, sorry, on LinkedIn and then on jobs, and you try to find BI analyst, likely you will always say that preferred that you have experience with Power BI or Tableau. So, if you want to know which visualization tool to start with, I would suggest to research your country. Okay, try to find the most common that they are using and then start from there. But of course, if you already know which one is going to be your, let's say for you, you like how Power BI looks or you like how Tableau looks, then you go with your guts and then go from there. But if you are leaning towards that your goal is I need to get a job, I need to find a job when it comes to data analyst, to make your options wider, I would suggest to pick something that is common in your country. Okay, so that's my take when it comes to visualization tool. And also, um, yes, Excel can be considered as a visualization tool, but companies, I would say, they don't make use of it as their visualization tool because of, if the data is quite big, um, Excel can take a while for it to load. So I would say I'm gonna put it as not as part of the visualization tool, but more or less I would say learn how to make use of your Excel still. Okay, programming language. Programming language, I would say, is optional. So when I say programming language, these are, Python, R, so those type of languages, because this one is good to have, to be honest. Some of the companies will look for someone that is, having those programming language as well. For me, I don't have any experience when it comes to those programming language. The reason behind is that most of the companies that I've been to, they do have a data engineering team that actually do those work for us. So it's for me to actually discuss with him or with her what would be the details when it comes to, what are the data that we are going to extract and how the data is going to look like, what are the columns that is required, and how many tables it's going to be. So I would say this is something that you can learn later on. I would say focus on the first three first, and then see from then, again, checking the country you are from, and then if that's your target country that you would want to work with, check if it's most common for them to have Python or to have R. Okay, so those are the 4 tools that I would suggest to kickstart with. And then after step 1, of course, step 2. So for step 2, learning the skills. So this one is more, I would say, some of it I consider soft skill, but some of it I consider hard skill as well because it's kind of bit tough. Okay. So, but anyways, so these are the 5, I would say, skills that I would suggest you start learning. First one is communication. Okay. Someone did ask me, Jocelyn, how to practice communication. It's gonna be hard to actually practice communication, but I would say learn by talking to your peers as well and then getting their feedback on how you communicate. When we say communication, it's not just about, hey, learning the language and such. It's about learning how to say no. Okay. If you have been working for some time, you would be working with some of the key users, stakeholders that will ask you, hey, I need this. So you need to learn how to say no in a way that it's going to be negotiable, something that doesn't make it rude or doesn't make it look like in a bad light, I would say. So those are the things that I would say will fall under communication. And of course, one of the main thing as well is as a BI analyst, you need to learn how to be able to get information from your users. Because when you start working on dashboards, when you start working with reports, you will have to gather requirements from your user, and this will require you to pick their minds, okay, to ask the right questions, okay? So that would fall under communication. So second part is problem solving. Okay, problem solving, I would say, is applicable for anything. So whether you're a BI analyst or an IT help desk, a network guy or girl or server, you're using servers or what. when I say problem solving, you need to have a process on how you do troubleshooting to be able to solve a problem. Because the thing is that sometimes, if you're not really good at problem solving and it takes you a while to solve a problem, it will impact your productivity. So learn to know a process that that works for you. For example, for me, when I do, if I notice if there's a bug when it comes to the report that I'm using, I always troubleshoot, or I always look at it from doing, like, process working backwards, so checking the measure. Is it the measure that is having a problem? Is it the data source that is having a problem? Is it the stored procedure that is having a problem? So you work backwards until you figure out what the root cause is. So something that you need to learn as well, so that at least your productivity when it comes to working won't get impacted by, you keep on solving problems and such. And of course, when it comes to problem solving as well, you need to figure out how to permanently resolve things. Okay, so you just don't, oh, I fixed it already, but then again, you don't think, oh, will it happen again in the future? So you need to fix those as well. Okay, so you need to learn problem solving. Third part, stakeholder management. Okay, when I say stakeholder management, this is based on my experience as well as a BI analyst. I'm not sure for the rest. You have to, you will likely have a couple of stakeholders. When you say stakeholders or key users that you will be working with. So the thing for me is, since I was working for a not really global, more on regional projects most of the time. For example, APAC team. So what happens is that I do have multiple stakeholders for each country. So you need to learn how to manage it in such a way that you don't have overlapping projects, overlapping meetings, so, and then get to know them in such a way that you don't overcommit. So this one will include, project management as well. So you need to ensure that for all the projects that you have, you ensure that you don't overcommit. Okay, so learn how to manage your stakeholder is one of the things that you would need to learn along the way, especially if you started on not only one department, multiple departments, and then started working with different countries. Okay, so because for me, most of the time, okay, actually all of the time is multiple countries, different divisions. So quite a lot and quite big. So I had to really manage my time, and I really had to manage their expectation as well. Okay. Fourth, data exploration, of course. Okay, you need to learn how to explore data better. Okay, so there are tips, and unfortunately, I couldn't find an article that I saw before about data exploration that really defines, not really defines, but I would say kickstart how to do data exploration better. This is actually in tandem with your Excel as well and SQL. So you need to learn how to dig deeper when it comes to your data and learn to how to find insights from your data, because the thing is that not everything will be told to you by your stakeholders. You are the one sometimes going to be feeding them information as well. Okay, so learn how to do data exploration better. If I find those links, definitely I'm going to share it to you as well. Data visualization. Okay, even though you learn Power BI, you learn Tableau, MicroStrategy, data visualization, I would say learn how to use your charts better, because before we were taught how to use, how to create bar chart, pie chart in Excel. But if you ask me before, when is the best time to use bar chart? When is the best time to actually use a pie chart? Is there any a best time for to use pie chart? Okay, or when is the best time to actually make use of your area chart, your line chart? There was never, for me, there was never someone who actually taught me all those things. So I would suggest data visualization, other than focusing on learning that tool, also learn the reason behind different visuals or different charts. Okay. Oh, sorry. That's my husband, by the way. If you saw, so there is someone, that's my husband. Okay. A .NET
I
developer.
oh
It's like,
interesting.
he was thinking I was not on a video. It's like
Oh, it's
passing
nice.
behind.
Maybe
Okay.
unfortunately we don't know if we have sessions we can invite him. Do you know any
Oh,
session we could,
that .NET developer,
.NET?
guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we're both in tech.
Oh, awesome.
Anyways, so we're back to data visualization. So what I was saying, other than the tools, ensure that you're actually making learning your charts as well. One one book that I always recommend to everyone. I'm gonna put it in the comments as well. Is this book, Guide to Information Graphics: The Do's and Don'ts of Presenting Data, Facts, and Figures. It really, I would say, when I started my career break last October, and I saw this book and I got this book, it really made me think of all the dashboards that I created before, and was like, oh my God, why did I use that data for this chart? Okay. So I would suggest get this. I would say it's not only for those that are learning, Power BI, Tableau. I would suggest this to anyone that is making use of Excel as well. If you want to learn charts, relearn charts, okay? I would suggest this books because it really explains the do's and don'ts when it comes to, charts. Okay. Anyway, so that's step 2. Let's move on to, let me just check the time just in case. Maybe we do question and answer. Temidayo, what do you think? Before, I think step 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
6 is enough.
Okay, so if you have any question, you can raise
Oh,
your hand
yeah,
or
yeah.
make a presenter. Or
If you have
you
any
can drop your
questions,
question in the chat box.
so that because we want to do question and answer in the middle and then later after as well. Yes, Sarah.
Okay, someone's
Yes,
asking, can you send the name of the book?
yes, I'm gonna send it in the chat
now.
box as well. Yes.
So any question?
If there's no question, we can move on to the next one. That should be okay.
Okay. Because you
Okay,
also
no
give
question.
yeah,
Go ahead, Timidaya. Sorry.
Okay, I said you also gave the same advice with our previous presenter. She talked about the presentation skills, and communication skills. So awesome.
Yes. And then one more thing about communication. If you want to learn how to say no to people, try to say no to your mom. Try to say no to your mother. That's the best practice ever. To be honest, that's the best practice. If you want to learn to say no, ask your mom. Definitely. Because likely your mom is gonna say, "What are you talking about?" And then you try to negotiate. There you go. So you are able to practice this. Okay. So if in case one best practice, try to say no to your mom. Don't say no to your dad. Because to be honest, your dad will like, okay, fine. My dad is like, never mind. Okay. So your mom. Okay. So pick one. Mom, for sure. Okay. Anything else? Oh my God. See, Sarah? See? Exactly. So imagine if your mom is your CFO, right? Or your CEO. So now you're able to practice. Because I do talk to our CFOs when it comes to reports. So it's hard to say no to a CFO. Come on. So same goes with your mom. Okay? So try to say no to your mom. Okay. Anything else? Okay, no more. Okay. So let's continue. Okay, let's continue. So, step 3, I would say continuous learning. Okay, continuous learning means that it's not, I would say it really depends on which topic you would want to pick. But for me, when I was working, things that I really needed to take time to learn is understand data modeling. So this one, star schema, those type of schema that you need to take a look at. so so learn those as well, because likely you are gonna work with such. But I would say for us, for example, for my experience, the most common one is always gonna be star schema, to be honest. So other schema we don't really get to use. Read books on visualization. So I do have quite a bit of visualization books in here that includes as well learn data storytelling, that includes storytelling as well. So I will try to list down all those in the comments as well. So I would say these three are my top things that you need to learn. So this one might, I would say the most important one is going to be the data modeling. So for the two items, I would say I learn it mostly through books. So I would suggest try to, get some books that will be able to for you to further your learning. So those are the things that I would suggest. Okay. Step 4. Okay. Practice, practice, and more practice. Okay. Especially if you're someone that is just starting with being a data analyst or a BI analyst, I would say try to practice creating different dashboards, different types of reports, because if you ask me, if I compare the dashboard that I created way back versus to the ones that I created now, totally different. Totally different. Okay. So try to practice more, not only with work, because the thing is that we always think of creating dashboards, reports and dashboards in our work. I realize that there is a need for you to create dashboards and reports that is not restricting you from what is required by the company. Okay. Because for example, let's say your company is the industry is real estate, so likely you will be working with a real estate data set. So you are restricted with that data set, so you are not able to practice different types of data set from different type of industry. So I would suggest do dashboards and reports whenever you're free, and then make use of some of the data sets that likely you will be, I would say, interested with. So how to practice those is to join data challenges on LinkedIn. This is the best discovery that I I discovered this, I think February, only February this year, that there are groups and companies on LinkedIn running different type of data challenges. They will provide you specific data sets, different type of data sets, and then you would have to create your dashboard and report on top of it. So for me, this is something that I would suggest to everyone, because you have the creative freedom. Oh my God, the best thing, creative freedom. You don't have to talk to any users, okay, on how to create that dashboard. What would be the KPI? It's all in you. So this is the best way to practice when it comes to visualization, okay? So data challenges, I would say go for it. Try to, use your personal time and then join the data challenges. They do have, like, the winners for that month, but to be honest, winning is not the point of, doing data challenges, because I do receive a couple of messages while asking, I'm a bit embarrassed, Jocelyn, to join, because if I see people joining, their dashboard is so perfect, it's totally different. But for me, it's like, it's not about that. You shouldn't compare yourself with the journey of the rest, because likely they've been in the industry for so long. So for me, the good thing about joining data challenges and, sharing your work is that you can actually ask for feedback to get better. Okay, so do join in a couple of data challenges, if I may suggest. Second one is SQL queries. So this one, I would say, for someone that are new, definitely try to practice some more when it comes to, SQL queries, just to get a hang on how to make use of it. So I would say practice more when it comes SQL. I forgot to mention in here as well is Excel. So practice making use of Excel. There are um, videos. There are YouTube channels that I would suggest. So you can check it on my LinkedIn profile as well, where I did share a couple of YouTube channel that I follow when it comes to Excel content. So I would suggest try to learn from those channels as well. And then the third part is peer to peer. I always say that it's always good to have like a study buddy when it comes to learning, because you keep yourself accountable with what you're doing. And then the good thing about peer to peer is that you get to learn from each other. And then I would suggest try to teach each other, because for me, I do learn a lot from teaching. So whenever I teach someone, they will provide me new ideas that I was like, that sounds interesting. Maybe I can try that next time. So other than that, peer-to-peer practicing, peer-to-peer studying is good. Okay. So like I said, step 4, practice, practice, and more practice. Step 5, build your portfolio. Okay. Since I started building my portfolio this year, when you say portfolio, it's like a website, where you showed all your works and such. So this one specific more on visualization. Although if you have time and if you have the money, then I would suggest, hey, build your own website, because if you have a website, then you can, other than dashboards as well or reports, you can actually share like SQL query projects that you created, or let's say if you created like Python scripts or something, you can share it from them. But if you don't, but you do want to share your dashboard, there is I have a portfolio in NoviPro. So NoviPro is a free account, but this one unfortunately is only specific for Power BI. So if you do dashboards on Tableau and MicroStrategy, and unfortunately you cannot publish it in here. So this one is specific only for Power BI. So one best thing about me creating the portfolio is that and then attaching it on my LinkedIn profile and on my resume as well. Most of the companies that saw my resume, the first thing that they always tell me is about my portfolio. Okay, so it's more like, oh, Jocelyn, we saw your portfolio on your LinkedIn. We really like your work. We would like to tell you about this opportunity. So since I started to create this, it build more, I would say, connections with hiring managers and recruiters. I would say it's mostly hiring managers, and that's a cool thing, because it means that that person is not the recruiter themselves that looking for a person for that role, but the hiring manager was the one contacting me. Hey, there is this. I saw your profile. I saw this portfolio. So good to have a portfolio build for all your dashboards and reports that you've created. But don't publish company dashboards here. They might sue you. So no, okay? Only personal, okay? Personal public data set is the one that you can publish on your portfolio. So I would suggest create a portfolio. And the good thing about this as well is that since most of my interviews are online, so whenever I go for an interview, rather than just talking to the person, whether it's the hiring manager or the recruiter, what I also like doing is I present the resume dashboard. Whenever I introduce myself, whenever I say, oh, Jocelyn, can you introduce yourself first before we proceed? And then I will tell them, is it okay for me to present my screen? I do want to introduce myself using my resume dashboard. And it always gets a really, wow factor from the hiring manager and the recruiters. They are like, oh, wow, because it looks like you prepared for that interview as well. And that it really shows your capability when it comes to, how to use Power BI. Okay. And then after that, we go through a couple of projects that I've created. Okay. So step 5, create the portfolio. Okay. Then the last part, step 6, is I don't have any circle in here anymore because if in case I'm gonna post, I'm still preparing a post on who to follow on LinkedIn. So because there is quite a lot of people that you can follow that I learned so much from. Okay, so I will list them out on another post on my LinkedIn. So connect with people, because the thing about being a BI analyst, right? It's quite cool to see so many people on LinkedIn that actually shares content when it comes to BI analysts. And then the good thing about it as well is more the content that they are sharing, I would say, are realistic. When I say realistic, it is based on the job that they've done. It's based on their experience. It's not just based on some books that they've read, theories and such. It's more connected with whether it is something that they experience through work. Because for example, for me, I have DAX book in here. It doesn't mean that all the functions in Power BI is something that I use on a daily. Okay, so I like connecting with people because I learn from them, and on top of that, I do ask them questions as well. So if I feel like, oh, I saw your content, but I think I'm encountering this, what do you suggest? So I would say connect with people because they will likely experience the same problems that you had. Okay, so maybe they can help you out. So that's the last part that I would say you try to do. Okay, and oh, so that's the whole process, okay, for me. So from learning the tools, learn the skills, continuous learning, practice, build your portfolio, and connect with people. But one thing that I do want you to note is that even though I indicate here step 1 to step 6, these are interchangeable. So for example, for me, I am learning again Excel because I do want to create a dashboard created in Excel. So I am on step 1 again for learning Excel. And currently, I am reading a couple of books. So I am continuously learning. And then I am also joining a couple of data challenges. So I am practicing. And step 5, I'm also building my portfolio because I'm adding more dashboards. I'm planning to add more dashboards and reports in the future. And I keep on connecting with people as well. So all these steps is actually interchangeable. So you don't have to, after you build your portfolio, you connect to people, you're done. No, you are gonna likely go back and forth with different steps. And likely in the future, this might even change. I might add another step in the future as well. But I would say for someone that is starting, this is, I hope, is a good starting point for you. And hopefully, you get to from step 1 to step 6, and then you do, interchangeable things. Okay. Yes, I think that is it. Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking whether did I miss anything? I think that is it. Hold on. Oh, this is the planned version. Okay. Sorry. I forgot another slide. This is my planned version of things. So if in case I can go back in time, likely I'm gonna do the whole shebangs, okay, of all these things. So this is my planned version. So if you are someone that is new with being a BI analyst or data analyst, I would suggest this to follow this flow and then go back and forth. Okay. And that is it. Thank you for listening. And then if you have a question, do let me know. Okay. Let me just open it up. Okay. No question, it seems.
I'm sure the
Okay.
questions will come in. I even
Okay.
have
There
a
is.
Awesome.
question.
Awesome. Okay, Michael, go ahead.
Okay, so my question is, you seem to really enjoy this space. It's uh, well, yes, we've had guests who obviously also show that they enjoy what they do, but I think yours is on a different level. Like it's so obvious that it's as if you found exactly what you really, really enjoy doing,
Mm.
and you're not confused. I see some people who they start saying, okay, now I'm doing these other things. I'm thinking of also branching out there and there. So my question is, that's one thing I think some people still struggle with, finding what really, really, aligns with both their passion, interest, and deriving, a very visible kind of satisfaction that you are showing. How do you think, people can navigate that difficult state? How can they find what they really enjoy? How can they, how was it for you that you knew exactly that this is what I want, what you want,
Yeah.
and you stuck to it?
Okay. I would say the thing about my experience is that let me just stop sharing. Okay. I think for me the thing is that I was lucky enough to actually, I would say, get an experience on each individual, different roles. So it really made me think on whether I was liking what I was doing at that time. Okay. But of course, for someone like, you're just starting and then you don't want to be on that role, test it out, apply for that role and then try it out. What I would suggest is research the role itself and then try to figure out whether those things that you will likely work on for 9 hours in a day is something that you love doing. For example, for me, I did try programming when I was in 2006, I think. I did try doing programming as in straight up programming at that time, but then again, I know that it's not something that I like to do. So maybe, for example, for you, try it out and see is it something that you enjoy. So for me, it's more on trying to understand the job description or the role itself, and then see whether it is something that if you are able to tick all the things that you are likely to be doing for that specific role, then if you are able to take that this is something that I enjoy, then it is something that you can try out. I would say for me, okay, this is my personal opinion. If a role is, I would say 50% of what the role entail, enlisted is something that I enjoy doing, I'm gonna try it out. Because I do want to see whether it is something that I will like to do in the next year or so. Okay, so that's for me how you find what you're passionate about. But one more thing that I want to include is that it's okay to give up. It's okay to just I don't think I like this role and then move on. It's okay to change your mind. Okay, so don't be pressured that you need to love that role. So if you don't like the role, resign and then find another role that you would likely like. Okay.
Okay, so Austin's, oh yeah, thank you. So Austin's
Yeah.
answers up. Austin, media presenter, you can speak now. Austin, you can mute yourself.
Yes, okay. Good evening, everyone. I just want to know if everyone can hear me.
Hi,
Yeah, you're
Austin.
audible.
Yes.
Oh, good, good. Thanks, Jocelyn, for the presentation. I'm very happy I'm in attendance for this
Yay.
section. And I want to say thank you for the organizers. And straight to my question. I'm relatively new to Power BI and I'm picking an interest. So I don't know where to start, but from what you have explained so far, I think I've actually catch up a lot. And now the question is, there was a plan before the last slide that you said thanks, and that's your plan. There was a slide you shared. I would like to take a look at it again. Then the
Sure.
books also, yeah, the books. The book you made mention of, there was one you actually raised up, and we don't know the author. Then there's another one you also made reference to. Probably during that time you were speaking about portfolios. I don't really get. So I will want to be carried along. I just joined this platform to have those around that put me through as to catch up with my Power BI skills. So I don't know where to go or where to start from. That's just the plain truth. But from what you have said, looking at the tools I need to have, I think I will start from somewhere, but I need a coach and a mentor. And if anyone will volunteer to carry me along, I will be very, very grateful. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so I think what you're asking is more on you are interested when it comes to Power BI. So you want to kickstart with Power BI, right? Power BI as a tool. So I would suggest then the build your portfolio will come later on once you are familiar with the tool itself. Because for the portfolio, it depends on what type of portfolio you are building. So let's say for the portfolio, you are going to build something that will showcase all the dashboards and reports that you're going to create. So for you to be able to do that, the first thing is, of course, to learn the tool of itself first, to learn how to make use of Power BI and then learn how to build Power BI. So I think you did mention about a couple of courses. I think
Yeah, I'll drop it down.
yes. So there are courses that you can take for such thing. Of course, if this one is I always suggest is, of course, if you couldn't afford to buy courses, because for me, to be honest, I did took a course. I paid for a course as well when I was starting with Power BI, because I do want to have a really good list of courses that I can follow easily, because it's quite tough to actually make use of YouTube if you don't have one specific person to teach you all those things. So for me, I do suggest courses if you have and you can afford such thing. This, for me, that is my, even for the other tools that I've learned over the past, I feel like investing on a course is something that will benefit you. But of course, you need to pick the course that is, speaks for you. Okay. So that's one I would suggest. When it comes to mentoring and coaching, I do receive this question a lot if I do provide such thing. Unfortunately, at this time, I don't, because I have multiple things that I've been doing. But don't worry, I am quite active on LinkedIn. So most of the time they do ask me questions. So I try my best to answer all of your questions. But when it comes to personal mentoring and coaching, unfortunately, I cannot do it. But I think the good thing about this group, and then the Power BI group that I think Benny is also conducting, they do a session on a Sunday. So I've been following them as well, and I like all the people that has been speaking their knowledge as well. So I would suggest do those things as well. Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so there's some questions in the chat box. So someone's asking, that's Oyemi, she's asking, what is the difference between data analyst, business analyst, and also business intelligence analyst?
The most common question, and the most thing that is like, oh my God, what is this role about? Okay. So for me, this is a personal opinion. Okay, guys, don't quote me, because some people will say, Jocelyn, no, it's not. Okay, so this is my personal opinion about it. Data analyst and business intelligence analyst for me is the same. Okay. What they do is the same as a business analyst. Business analyst is someone that works in the middle of your developer team and your business stakeholder. Okay, so he or she is someone that takes the requirements from your business user, translate it in such a way that your developer knows what to build. Okay, so that's a business analyst. Okay, so that's a simplified version of it. Business analyst does a lot. Do training, workshops. Okay, so that's the most basic, I would say, short way of saying it. Business intelligence analyst is like a BA analyst, business analyst. The only difference is like it is working with data more. Okay, not on a specific software or let's say CRM, retail application and such. It's more on reporting. It's more on dashboard. It's more on data related. That's your business intelligence analyst is. Business intelligence analyst and data analyst can be a developer too. Okay. So when I say they can be a developer, for example, for me, most of the time I work as a developer and an analyst. So what I do is I work in the middle, and on top of that, rather than having a developer create those reports, I'm the one creating the reports as well. So that's your business intelligence analyst, okay? But there is also a version of a business intelligence analyst where they do have another developer for the reports. So for example, for me, when our team is growing, what we decided is that, hey, I couldn't create all the reports that you are requesting. Okay, I needed help. So what we did is we hire another person, but that person is not working as a business intelligence analyst, but he is actually working as a report analyst, okay? Or not really analyst, report developer or developer itself. So what happens is that that person is only doing reports. I'm just going to develop the report that you want. So Jocelyn, you tell me what you need, and then I'm going to build it for you. He or she doesn't talk to your users at all. I'm the one talking to the users. So those are the different takes when it comes to business analyst, business intelligence analyst, and your data analyst. Okay, I hope I was able to answer that.
Awesome, awesome. I also had the same issue there when I was still looking for a job. Then I was always applying for business analyst, data. It was very confusing then. Okay,
Yes, exactly.
so I was asking, what's the difference between tools and skills?
Okay, to be honest, tools. Okay, when they say tools, for me, I'm the one who categorized it. You can consider it as one as well. It's just for me, skills is mostly soft skills. Tools is more on those technologies that you need to learn. So for example, Excel is a tool, SQL is a tool, Power BI is a tool, those softwares that you would have to learn. That's why I mentioned tools, skills. Skills is more on soft skills, not
skills.
something, yeah. So that's the difference for me. Tools and skills. Okay?
Okay, so that's they're asking in the group that can you drop the name of the book you recommended?
Oh yes,
The
I'm gonna
author
write it
and,
down.
and
Yeah. Before, I think what we can
okay.
do, Temidaya, before I log out from this session, I'm gonna list down everything in here, even the links.
Okay.
Or
Thank
where
you.
should I put
Okay,
it? Where should
awesome.
I put it?
Or you can
Better
send
put
it to
it.
Benny. Benny email.
Okay,
Okay, say
maybe
something,
I'll
sorry.
send it to Benny. What do you think?
Yeah.
Which is easier for you? Because I think it's past midnight for you now.
It's
we
okay,
need
no
we need to
worries.
let you.
It's okay. I sleep late. I don't mind. I can send it to you via email, and then maybe you can send it to everyone that attended, and then
On
or
YouTube.
including the video as well. So maybe that would be better. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So
So
can you
if-
take one more question? Because someone else is up.
Okay, let's. Is it okay for us to, I don't know how many more minutes do you have for us before you go? It's already past the hour, and we want to respect your time.
It's okay. 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm fine. So if you have any question, that's okay as well.
Oh, okay. So
Okay,
let's hear
so
from Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, you can unmute yourself. Unmute the presenter.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
You can hear Emmanuel. Go on. Hello, Emmanuel.
Oh.
I don't think he knows that we are not hearing him anymore.
Hello.
Maybe something.
Hello.
Okay,
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Wow. I think
Okay,
something is wrong with your mic. So we see you are speaking. We see you're unmuted, but
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Oh, there
Yeah, we
you
can
go.
hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you again. I was saying thank you for this awesome presentation, Jocelyn. And
You're welcome.
I don't really have any question. I only have a question based on where I can find more guides, more session on this. I don't know if there's a group available or something where I can join along. And I'm asking
Yeah.
to the presenters.
Okay.
We'll check
Yes,
that right away now.
this group already. You have joined us already, so you're already part of the group.
I mean,
Oh
there's
yeah.
no other
Ah,
group outside of here. WhatsApp,
Oh,
LinkedIn,
We have a
it's a
or
bit.
Telegram
Facebook,
group
something
It's
like
also.
a
that.
Okay. We will share. There is majorly the meetup group, which I would say that's the main one because that's where all the sessions are pre-scheduled. So you get to see what we have next week, what we have in 2 weeks' time, and how every detail, inclusive of resources that we say we share based on what the presenters have given. It's always on that meetup group, which I'm already liking the. Okay, I've created a like on it so that you will know what I'm talking about. The group is this one. So that's that, and I think we should terminate. Ask the last two
Okay,
questions.
so
okay.
Lynn, thank you. So okay, can you just tell us how you start your own data analysis journey and also what advice you have for people just starting out in this field?
Okay, I think for the journey, you already seen the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The long
Yeah,
journey. But I
yeah.
think okay. I think when it comes to tips, right? For anyone that is starting their journey or that is in this journey with me, okay, with us in data analytics, I would say is I do have first one is I would say take your time, okay? When I say take your time, don't feel pressured that you need to learn everything, okay? That you need to know everything. The thing is that for me, it's not like 30 days being a BI analyst. That's not true. If you see those posts, how to be a BI analyst in 30 days, that's not true. You will it's going to be tough to be a BI analyst in 30 days. It's going to take a while, but I would say take your time, block days and time for learning, okay? Because the thing for us, right, especially if you have work, you get busy with work that you forget that you need to learn things for your own benefit as well, because most likely when you're on your role, when on your job, you only learn things that is required for you on that role, but you never get to learn outside that role. Like I said, for example, for the data challenges, you will learn different types of data from different industry. So if you are only focused on your work, likely you will only be able to have an experience on that data set. So I would say block days. When I say block days, for example, Saturday, Sunday, you would have to do some learning. And then block sometimes every day, 1 hour, 2 hours, up to you, so that you can learn more. Uh, Learn to take breaks. Another thing. Okay, learn to take breaks. Don't just be, learning things and then working as well. Because your salary, by the way, your salary will not change even if you work on a weekends or if you do overtime. Okay, it'll be the same. So make sure that you invest it in upskilling yourself rather than giving it for free to your company. Okay, so that's one more thing. And I think the last one is I think have fun, and it's okay to give up on a role that you are not happy with. It's okay to change your mind. And for anyone that is just starting data analytics journey, because I do receive this question as well. Jocelyn, I'm already at my 30s. It's hard for me to pivot to another career. End of the day is that if you're not happy with the role that you have, you're gonna be miserable the rest of your life. So whether you're 30, you're 40, you're 20, if you want to, pivot to having a data analytics role, that's fine. No one is pressuring and no one is telling anyone that, hey, you can only restart when you're 20s, So for me, follow what you love, have fun, and it's okay for you to give up. It's okay for you to change your mind, and just focus on upskilling yourself. Don't and take breaks. Yep, that's all.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
So can I just sneak in one more thing, like something?
Sure.
Okay. So in addition, I want to say, do you want us to share your LinkedIn, your Twitter,
Yeah,
what are the things you like us to share so that people can follow you?
you
So
can follow me. You can just share my LinkedIn because
oh, okay.
I'm mostly I would say on LinkedIn. And if you have any questions for me, definitely, because people are like, is it okay to ask Jocelyn? No, yes, it's okay. So you can message me. It just gets a bit, quite hectic from time to time, but no worries. You can definitely send your questions to me, and I'll try to help out as much as I can as well.
Oh, okay, thank you for that. So
Okay.
the last thing I was hoping to ask you as a one extra thing is, so can you tell us the most memorable experience you've had? Like maybe someone, it could be at work, most likely should be related to the old BI analyst. And is it like maybe someone asked an impossible thing or someone
Oh my
was,
God. Okay. Okay, this one is gonna be the the frustrating part as a BI analyst. I'm not sure if anyone can relate. It's like after you created the most awesome, beautiful dashboard, and then your user is gonna ask you, "Can I download that to Excel?" I'm like, what the? Seriously? I just created this awesome dashboard for you, interactive, got pages, got beautiful charts, and then you're gonna ask me if you can download it to Excel. Seriously? That's that's the epic part. It's like, what? I'm like, what? 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 Are you serious? So that's the most memorable and so frustrating at the same time, because imagine you're like creating the dashboard for 2 weeks. For me, maximum is 2 weeks. You're doing it 2 weeks, and then you're gonna ask me to send you in Excel. Yeah, that's the epic part. Epic, epic.
Okay.
thanks. Okay,
You're
so
welcome.
David, I think
Okay.
we can. It's okay.
We can
Yay!
Thank you
end now.
very much.
Thank
So
you,
So
what to
I've
say?
dropped. I've dropped. Okay. So you answer
Drop
something.
the
Sorry,
link.
Michael.
Yeah, I just wanted
Yeah,
to
I've
say
dropped a
a
LinkedIn
big thank you
profile.
to Jocelyn and Temidaya. If you
yeah.
can wrap up the session, help us thank
Thank
Okay.
everyone.
you.
Or let her
Thank
So
go.
you,
thank.
everyone. I haven't seen all the comments, unfortunately, because I couldn't talk and comment at the same time. But for everyone, thank you for joining. And I do hope you enjoyed this session as well. And then and all the links that I can share, all the books,
Yeah.
the list of the books, I'm gonna share it to Benny. I'm gonna send it via email, and then maybe he can share the videos plus those links as well for you guys
Yeah.
to check. Okay?
Yeah, thank you very much. So have a
Thank you,
very
So we'll
wonderful.
wrap down
everyone.
that section by 6 p.m. So
She
thank
will
you very
be
much.
asking. Have
Bye.
a very wonderful Monday now because it's Monday for
Yes.
you.
Yeah, Monday morning. Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Okay.
Thank you for inviting.